My wife tried to outsmart me. So I beat her at her own game. So, she dashed off for a night of wild adventures, thinking she could pull a fast one on me. Little did she know, I had a little surprise waiting in the wings. Yep, it's a classic tale of a cheating wife and the sweet, sweet taste of revenge. Buckle up, folks, this Reddit story is about to get spicy. Let's dive in. So, picture this, it's one of those nights that feels like it's about to change everything. It all kicked off with a light kiss on my cheek, the kind that sends a little shiver down your spine, and the delightful whiff of Clara's lilac perfume wafting through the air. Then came the casual line that used to roll off the tongue without a second thought, "Don't wait up, okay?" Little did I know, that phrase was about to take on a whole new meaning. Just as I was about to dive into the glorious abyss of mind-numbing TV, my wife Clara, who's been putting up with me for 11 years now, strolled in. She casually dropped the bomb about a get-together with her college pals downtown, dinner, dancing, the whole shebang. Cue my internal groan and the mental debate of couch potato versus social butterfly. Jealousy? Nah, that wasn't my jam, until that fateful night. Picture this, she waltzes out in that navy blue dress, the kind that hugs all the right curves like it was custom-made. Her hair? Softly curled, like she just strolled out of a rom-com. And those lips? Glossed just enough to make a disco ball jealous. As she stepped out the door, I had this wild thought, not a jealous bone in my body, just pure affection. Who could blame me? She was a total knockout. So there I was, totally mesmerized by this woman who, let's be honest, hadn't really noticed me in ages. I'm Ethan Bell, 38, your average software developer, hanging out in Austin like it's my second home. Now, our marriage? Not exactly a fairy tale, but I thought it was rock solid. We had our little routines, our inside jokes, and let's not forget Gus, our goofy bulldog who thinks he's a lapdog. Sunday mornings were all about waffles and that picture frame in the hallway that boldly proclaimed, "To infinity and beyond." It's funny how those cracks in the foundation can be so sneaky, until you're suddenly plummeting through the floor. So, picture this, Clara, the queen of social media, goes MIA one night. I know, right? It sounds like a plot twist in a rom-com. Normally, she's all about sharing her life, food pics that make you drool, drink selfies that scream cheers, and those adorable little videos of her and her pals giggling in cozy bars. But that night? Crickets. Not a single post, no stories, no check-ins, just a big old blank space where her usual digital sparkle should be. What gives, Clara? Did she get abducted by aliens or just decide to live in the moment? The suspense is killing me. So there I was, clock striking 1:17 a.m., lounging on the sofa like a professional couch potato, lost in a rabbit hole of old messages. You know, the sweet stuff I didn't even know I was missing, like, missing your grin already? Ah, the nostalgia. Who knew a late-night scroll could hit you right in the feels? Hey, just a friendly reminder, don't let that anniversary dinner reservation slip your mind, okay? We wouldn't want to end up eating cold pizza on the couch again, right? I found myself glued to my phone, staring at it like it held the secrets of the universe. After what felt like an eternity, I caved and logged into our shared mobile account. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have, but curiosity got the better of me. And there it was, a name that sent my heart racing, Julian. This dude was popping up in our call and text logs like he was the star of a soap opera, with messages flying back and forth like they were in a secret club. Personal? Private? Oh boy, this was about to get interesting. So there I was, the clock striking 1:26 a.m., and bam. Guilt hit me like a ton of bricks. I started playing detective in my own head, thinking maybe it was just a colleague or a long-lost relative, some innocent little connection I was blowing way out of proportion. But my gut? Oh, it was already doing the cha-cha like a tangled mess of wires. Classic, right? She waltzed back in just after 3 a.m., sneaky as a cat burglar, like the floorboards were in on some big secret and ready to spill the beans. She tiptoed past a pile of invisible guilt, hoping it wouldn't call her out. "Hey there," she whispered, tossing her heels aside like they were yesterday's news. "Didn't think you'd still be awake." The movie ran late, I casually mentioned, leaving out the juicy detail that I'd already devoured a whole novel's worth of texts between her and some dude who had the audacity to call her sweetheart. Classic, right? I asked her how dinner went, and she launched into a roll call of names like she was announcing the cast of a new blockbuster. But guess who didn't make the cut? Yep, Julian. Then, with a dramatic sigh that could rival any soap opera star, she declared she was totally wiped out. She left her clutch on the kitchen counter like it was a forgotten trophy and made a beeline for the shower. Classic move. So there I was, standing by the sink, water gushing like a waterfall, and what do? I grab her phone like it's a hot potato. She hadn't deleted a single thing. Maybe she still had a smidgen of trust in me, or maybe she just couldn't be bothered to cover her tracks. Who knows? The plot thickens. So there I was, minding my own business, when I stumbled upon this photo. You know the type, definitely not the one you'd show to grandma. It's the kind where your arm is casually slung over someone's chest, your head nestled on their shoulder, and your smile is so bright it could light up a small city. And guess what? Your husband? Not even a blip on the radar. Oops. So, there was this guy, Julian, right? A personal trainer she stumbled upon at her friend's fitness studio. Picture him, single, charming, and oh so easy to chat with. Their texts? Pure magic. Late-night musings and cheeky midday flirts that danced around the edges of something more than just physical. It was like they were weaving a tapestry of emotional intimacy, all sneaky-like, without ever crossing the line. You know what I mean? So there we were, diving into a deep chat about dreams she hadn't spilled in ages. She was all about that coastal life, feeling the waves and sunshine, while also fretting about what's next. And let's be real, she just wanted to be seen again. Like, really seen. You know, back when that was my gig. So there I was, not exactly ready to throw down the gauntlet. Instead, I decided to play the fool, because let's be real, I needed a game plan. It wasn't just about reacting, it was about digging deep and remembering the guy I was before I tied the knot with a woman who could pull off deceit like it was a walk in the park. I had to break free from the silent sidelines and transform into the sneaky spectator of her life, the one who catches every little detail like a hawk eyeing its prey. So, Clara had thrown down the gauntlet, and now it was my moment to shine, or trip over my own feet. Game on. For the next few days, I slipped into my trusty old costume as the ever-predictable, totally understanding husband. You know, the one who nods and smiles while secretly plotting his next snack break. I rolled out of bed when she did, whipped up her go-to Earl Grey tea, and planted a sweet kiss on her forehead before she dashed off to work. Not a single time did I drop a hint that I was in the know. But deep down, where the calm vibes were hanging out, something big was doing the cha-cha. It wasn't that kind of volcanic eruption, you know, the one that sends lava flying everywhere. My anger was like a frosty math problem, cool, collected, and ready to solve some serious issues. It didn't exactly raise its voice. It was like that one friend who always shows up to the party, quietly observing everyone, taking mental notes, and just biding their time until the perfect moment to jump in with a hilarious story or a wild dance move. You know the type. 3 nights later, the first opportunity came knocking at my door, and boy, was it a surprise party I didn't see coming. So there was Clara, snoozing away like a champ, catching those Z's before the clock even thought about striking bedtime. Classic Clara move. So there she was, minding her own business, when her phone decided to throw a little party at 10:46 p.m. with a good ol' vibrate. Classic phone move, right? I was over in the corner, pretending to be super into a book while secretly eavesdropping on the chaos around me. The screen lit up like a surprise party, and there it was, Jules. And right below, a message that said, "Tonight was everything." Talk about a cliffhanger. What on earth happened? Was it a wild adventure or just a really good slice of pizza? The suspense is killing me. I was totally not ready for it to wrap up, you know? Like, can we just hit pause on this whole thing? Seriously, I was enjoying the ride way too much to let it go. I found myself just staring at those words, like they were the most fascinating thing since sliced bread. Seriously, I could have been a statue in a park. Time just slipped away as I tried to decipher their secrets. That was the moment I ditched the endless questions and rolled up my sleeves to start building some answers instead. So, there I was, sitting in my room, and bam! Inspiration struck like a lightning bolt. I whipped up a totally fake online persona that very night. Because why not? Who doesn't love a little digital disguise, right? A totally convincing tale. So, there's this dude, Derek Flynn, right? He's got all the bells and whistles, photos, shared interests, the whole shebang. And get this, he even whipped up a fake digital history that could fool a casual snoop. Talk about commitment. He was just fit enough to give Julian the impression that he might actually know what he was talking about. Picture this, you're at a fitness convention, surrounded by folks flexing their muscles and sharing protein shake recipes. Suddenly, you spot a guy who might just be the one who crossed your path at that local training workshop last month. Small world, right? Or maybe it's just a gym thing. Guess what? In just 48 hours, Julian hit that accept button on my friend request like it was a hot potato. By the end of the week, we were swapping workout hacks like pros at a fitness convention. In just a fortnight, I had unlocked more secrets about him than Clara ever could. Talk about a plot twist. So, before Clara waltzed into Julian's life, there was this serious lady named Simone who had his heart all tied up in knots. So, picture this, their breakup was like a reality TV show gone wrong, messy, full of drama, and, let's just say, Simone packed her bags and hit the road, leaving the state in her rearview mirror. Little did Julian know, Simone had a secret weapon tucked away in her digital arsenal, a blog post that could make even the toughest critics weep. She had laid bare his manipulative antics and his not-so-subtle bragging about client secrets, all while casually mentioning those sketchy financial side hustles he thought were under wraps. Oops. Talk about a plot twist. Julian wasn't just your run-of-the-mill cheater, he was like a walking disaster waiting to happen. I went full-on archivist mode and saved every little thing, like a squirrel hoarding acorns for winter. Every screenshot, every message, and all those sneaky phone chats I eavesdropped on through the heating vents. Oh, the drama. So, there I was, browsing a security website, and I ended up snagging not one, but two sneaky little gadgets. Who knew shopping for security could be so thrilling? Picture this, a teeny tiny microphone, so small it could play hide and seek with my thumbnail, and a sneaky little micro camera that's pulling off the ultimate disguise as a wall adapter. Talk about tech that's got some serious stealth game. So, I went ahead and set up two of these bad boys in our house, one cozying up in the bedroom and the other hanging out in the hallway, just waiting to catch her off guard when she thought she was all by herself. Sneaky, right? It wasn't about playing detective and catching them red-handed. So, picture this, it's all about piecing together the timeline, diving deep into the rabbit hole of deception, and peeling back those layers of lies like an onion, except this onion is way more dramatic and probably has a few plot twists up its sleeve. I was not in the mood for a full-blown shouting contest, thank you very much. I was on a mission for control, like a cat trying to catch its own tail, round and round, but oh so determined. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, life was chugging along like a well-oiled machine, predictable as your grandma's Sunday roast. So, we kicked off the day with breakfast, then hit up the local farmer's market. She pulled up some hilarious animal videos online, and I was laughing like it was the best comedy show in town, as if nothing had ever changed. But every time she strutted out of the room, I couldn't help but sneak a peek at her reflection in the mirror. It was like a reality show I just couldn't turn away from. Every little fib she spun was just another seed I tossed into the garden of my mind. And before I knew it, I was giving those little green guys a drink. It all kicked off in the most sneaky way possible. So, there I was, a digital ninja in the night, stealthily changing her email password. I hit that reset button like a pro and then just sat back, grinning like a cat that got the cream. Mission accomplished, right? So, I played a little prank and tweaked her calendar notifications. Just enough to make her fashionably late to a couple of appointments, nothing like a little chaos to spice up the day, right? I left some sneaky little marks on the guest room floor, just tiny hints that would totally fly under her radar. You know, like breadcrumbs leading to the idea that maybe, just maybe, someone else had paid a visit. It's our little secret. So, let me tell you about Julian. So, there he was, spilling the beans to Derek about his little money-making adventures. You know, just casually mentioning how he raked in a cool few grand last quarter by playing the investment guru for some rich folks before the market decided to do its usual dance. Oh, he was strutting around like a peacock, showing off those screenshots like they were trophies from a video game. Can you believe it? Sometimes, all you need is a little push, like a friendly shove from your buddy when you're about to dive into the deep end. Just a nudge, and boom. You're off on an adventure. Whoa, hold up. If that's the case, you better watch your step, my friend. Whoa, that's some sneaky business, like a secret club for stock market wizards. Well, not if you play your cards right, Julian shot back with a grin. Trust is the name of the game, my friend. So, there I was, filing things away like a pro, when out of nowhere, Clara drops the bomb that she's off to San Francisco for some fancy work conference. Cue the dramatic music. She planted a kiss on my cheek at the airport, all businesslike in her cream blouse and tailored pants, promising she'd be back by Sunday. I mean, who knew a goodbye could look so stylish? I had a hunch she was never going to make it to San Francisco. I mean, come on, the Golden Gate Bridge wasn't going to see her anytime soon. So there she was, all dressed up with nowhere to go, definitely not heading to the airport. So there I was, hopping into a rideshare like a sneaky ninja, using a different account to tell her. You know, just your average undercover operation, right? So there she was, strutting into this swanky boutique hotel downtown, and guess who she bumps into? Yep, Julian, in room 1108. Talk about a plot twist. They finally crawled out of their cozy hidey holes well after the sun had decided to take its lunch break the next day. I totally let it slide when she waltzed back home. Keep it chill, folks. No finger-pointing or shouting matches here. So, there I was, casually handing her a steaming cup of chamomile tea, like a barista in a cozy cafe, and I couldn't help but ask, "So, how was the trip? Did you conquer the world or just the hotel buffet?" She flashed a grin that could light up a room, spun a little tail like a pro, and tossed in a thank you for my unwavering cheerleading skills. I gave a little nod, because, let's be real, she had just strolled right into the snare she set up all by herself. Classic move. So there I was, in the dead of night, channeling my inner tech wizard, backing up every single file I had onto not one, not two, but 3 separate drives. Because, you know, if one drive fails, I'm not about to let my digital life go down in flames. So, picture this, I've got one secret stashed away at work like it's the crown jewels, another one I handed over to my lawyer, because, you know, legal stuff, and the last? Oh, that one I just popped in the mail to myself, sealed up tighter than a drum and timestamped like it's a top-secret mission. Who knew keeping secrets could be such an adventure? Oh boy, this had escalated beyond just her little backstab, hadn't it? So, picture this, it was all about justice, folks. You know, that noble quest where everyone puts on their capes and fights for what's right. Cue the dramatic music. Little did Clarabelle know it was about to unfold. She was convinced she had it all figured out, like a contestant on a game show who thinks they've just hit the jackpot. So, picture this, the first strike rolls in, and it's not exactly a dramatic thunderclap. Nope, it's more like a cat sneezing, unexpected but not exactly earth-shattering. It was like a little secret, a sneaky nudge in the air that made you go, wait, what just happened? So there was Clara, basking in the golden glow of the sun, just dropping a filtered pic of her vibrant green smoothie on Instagram. You know the drill, her face lit up like a Pinterest board, complete with one of those motivational quotes that makes you feel like you can conquer the world, or at least your next workout. Discovering happiness in the little stuff, you know? Like that first sip of coffee in the morning or the way your socks magically match today. It's the tiny treasures that make life a delightful adventure. And just like that, the first email plopped into her inbox, like a surprise party that nobody asked for. Subject line, whoopsie daisy. Did you forget to log out? So, picture this, no name attached, just a cheeky little screenshot of her locking lips with Julian right outside room 1108. Classic, right? No context, no explanation, just pure, unfiltered truth, folks. It's like that one friend who shows up at the party with no invitation but somehow steals the spotlight. You can't argue with it, it just is what it is. Well, let me tell you, I wasn't the one hitting that send button, not in a direct way, anyway. So, picture this, I'm on a wild email adventure, zipping through a maze of encrypted servers like a digital ninja. I've got my ghost email chain, a one-time burner, and it's all as untraceable as a ninja in the night. Talk about playing it cool. I was perched on the edge of my seat, popcorn in hand, as I watched her from across the living room, the suspense building like a blockbuster movie, while she slowly peeled back the wrapping. What was inside? A treasure? A disaster? The anticipation was killing me. She looked up, caught me in the act of staring, and plastered on a smile that could only be described as "I'm totally not awkward right now. Hey there, are you doing alright? Oh boy, here comes the spam parade. You know, the kind of weirdness that makes you question your life choices. Buckle up, folks, it's about to get strange." I gave a little nod, like I was in on some secret joke that only I understood. These days, folks are just throwing caution to the wind like it's confetti at a parade. She shot a quick look back at the screen, like it was about to spill some juicy gossip. She slammed that laptop shut like it owed her money, but her butt was still glued to the chair. She just plopped down, all quiet-like, as if she was expecting the sky to come crashing down any second now. Oh, it hadn't happened yet, but trust me, it was coming, because I was just getting started. So, there I was that afternoon, feeling like a digital detective, uploading a file that was basically a greatest hits album of her most glamorous fibs. I had it all, screenshots, call logs, and even video clips from the hallway camera, all stitched together like a reality TV show gone rogue. So, Picture this, a video titled Case Study, Deception in Modern Relationships. Sounds like a wild ride, right? Buckle up, folks, because we're diving into the tangled web of love and lies. I tossed it into the wilds of a bustling psychology forum, tagging it with all the juicy buzzwords: emotional infidelity, personality incongruence, and trust erosion. Let the internet do its thing. In just a few hours, it was racking up views like a cat video on the internet, tens of thousands, to be exact. By the next morning, it was blowing up on social media with hashtags like #FacadePreserves and #PerfectLie. Can you believe it? Talk about a digital circus. So, what about Clara? She was deep in her make-believe world when Julian's call came crashing in like a bull in a china shop, his voice booming, a cocktail of anger and confusion. Talk about a plot twist. I was eavesdropping from the hallway, like a ninja in my own home. So there he was, going off about this total nutjob who had just laid everything bare for the world to see. I mean, come on, who does that? Guess what? My clients are ringing me up like it's a game show and I'm the lucky contestant. My LinkedIn is a total dumpster fire. My DMs are like a horror movie, full of threats and plot twists. Seriously, it's like I've opened a can of drama that just won't stop spilling everywhere. He was all like, "All right, spill the beans. Were you the mastermind behind this?" She was all like, "No way, not me." But you could totally hear her voice doing the cha-cha. Shaky much? For the first time since this whole wild ride kicked off, she found herself in the passenger seat, and let me tell you, that's a whole new ball game. That night, I hit the hay and snoozed like a baby who just found out it was Saturday. Seriously, it was the best sleep I'd had in ages. So, bright and early, I decided to play Santa and left a little surprise on the kitchen counter. Who doesn't love a morning gift, right? There it was, her beloved artisanal coffee, just waiting to be sipped, topped off with a cute little sticky note that said, "Thinking of you." Aw, how sweet. She shot me a look that could only be described as a mix between a deer caught in headlights and a kid who just got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Guilt? Oh, it was practically doing the cha-cha in her eyes. Little did she know, the clock had already run out on her. Tick-tock, my friend, tick-tock. So there we were, cruising into day 6, when bam! The second strike hit us like a surprise party we never wanted. Maya, her sister, slid into my DMs. "Hey Ethan, are you hanging in there, buddy? Hey there. What's the scoop? Spill the beans." Oh, she definitely caught that video. You know, the one that everyone's been buzzing about like it's the latest cat meme? Yeah, that one. Little did she know, it was Claire lurking in the shadows. But she had that nagging feeling in her gut that something was off. I threw out a little something that was all vague and fuzzy, just the right amount of reassuring to keep things cozy, but also sneaky enough to plant a few seeds of doubt. You know, the classic move. So, I decided to spice things up and sent a second package, but this time it was headed straight for Julian's workplace. Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong? So there I was, staring at this USB drive with the intriguing label "Client Confidentiality Concerns." I mean, come on, how could I resist? It was like a treasure map, but instead of gold, it promised secrets. What could possibly go wrong? So, picture this, Julian, the self-proclaimed king of the trading jungle, is sitting there, puffing out his chest like a peacock, and chatting up Derek Flynn. He's all about those juicy trading tips, bending the rules like a pretzel, and using his fancy title to nudge rich clients into some seriously sketchy investments. Classic Julian, right? It was quicker than a squirrel on espresso. So, by the time Thursday morning rolled around, Julian's company was all hands on deck, diving headfirst into an internal investigation. You know, the kind where everyone pretends to be super serious while secretly wondering who's going to spill the beans first. So, by the time Friday rolled around, our guy found himself on the infamous administrative leave. Talk about a plot twist, right? By Saturday, Clara's driveway was looking a little too empty. His car had pulled a disappearing act. The silence in our house was like a thick fog, wrapping around us and making it hard to breathe. It was the kind of quiet that made you wonder if someone had accidentally hit the mute button on life itself. So, picture this, Clara, our shower superstar, has taken her emotional performances to a whole new stage. Yep, you guessed it, she's crying in the shower now. Talk about a dramatic twist in her daily routine. She hit the snooze button like it was her new best friend, tossed her phone aside like a hot potato, let her plants go thirsty like they were on a desert island, and suddenly, my name was nowhere to be found in her social media adventures. What gives? But she was still keeping it a secret. And just like that, I was far from finished. Oh, let me tell you, this whole thing was way bigger than just Julian, my friend. So there I was, minding my own business after 11 years of wedded bliss, when she locks eyes with me and drops the bomb, "Don't wait up." I mean, talk about a plot twist. Who knew marriage came with cliffhangers? Like it was just a casual Tuesday, right? No big deal at all. Alright, folks, the grand finale is here. I've whipped up the final act, and trust me, it's going to be a showstopper. So, guess what? I took the plunge and filed for divorce. Oh no, not in a whisper, not with a smile, and definitely not sneaky-like. So there I was, bright and early on a Sunday morning, handing her the papers like it was the most thrilling plot twist of the week. Who knew paperwork could be so exciting, right? There she was, rocking her pajamas like a true champion, knee-deep in her daily crossword conundrum. You know, just another day in the life of a puzzle-solving ninja. Picture this, a cozy little scene with a mug of tea cradled in her hand, steam swirling up like it's trying to tell secrets to the ceiling. Ah, the simple joys of life, right? What in the world is going on here? She raised an eyebrow, looking like she just bit into a lemon. Give it a read, I insisted. She flipped through the pages like a kid unwrapping presents on Christmas morning, her hands moving in slow motion as if they were in disbelief of the wild adventure her eyes were witnessing. As she flipped to the part about the whole fault-based petition thing, you know, the juicy stuff like infidelity, breach of marital trust, and documented betrayal, her lips started to quiver like a leaf in a windstorm. "So, this is it, huh?" she whispered, her voice barely above a breath. "You're pulling the plug?" "Nah," I shot back, my voice as flat as a pancake on a Sunday morning. "So, you pulled the plug, huh? Game over, my friend. All right, folks, it's time to dim the lights and say goodbye to the day." Who knew turning off lights could feel like such a grand finale? Cue the dramatic music. Clara went totally radio silent for what felt like an eternity, 2 whole minutes, to be exact. You could practically hear the crickets chirping in the background. She just sat there, eyes glued to the divorce papers, blinking like she was trying to shake off a bad dream. Seriously, it was like watching someone trying to wake up from a horror movie. And there I was, just standing there, keeping my mouth shut like a clam at a seafood buffet. It was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop, if only there had been a pin around to drop. Seriously, it felt like the universe hit the mute button and forgot to turn it back on. Talk about an awkward moment. When she finally opened her mouth, it was like a roller coaster of feelings had taken the wheel and driven straight into a wall of tears. "Hey Ethan, can we have a little chit-chat about this? Pretty please? Hey, it doesn't have to go down like this, you know? Let's hit the pause button and rethink our game plan." "Oh, don't you worry. We've got this covered like a cozy blanket on a chilly night. Just sit back and relax while we work our magic." I gave my head a little tilt, like I was trying to catch a glimpse of something sneaky behind the curtain of life. "So, did you pop that question to Julian while you were chilling in his hotel room? So, did you spill the beans about how we can totally sort this out?" She was crying like a leaky faucet, tears just pouring down her cheeks. But let me tell you, guilt isn't exactly the kind of cash you can flash around after you've turned your house into a bonfire. She was practically on her knees, pleading with me to keep this under wraps. But you know me, I just can't resist a little drama. She claimed she'd throw in a towel. So, it turns out she totally goofed up. Turns out, she still had a little love left in her heart for me. I was this close to buying her story, like a kid believing in Santa Claus. Seriously, I almost took the bait. So close, yet so far. Almost had it, didn't we? Oh, but let me tell you, I had my eyes glued to that footage. When she shot him a text, her smile could have lit up the whole room. So, you know you found your new future when you start saying, "Yep, that's my person." And just like that, her future went kaboom. Little did she know, I had already pulled the rug out from under our joint accounts. Surprise. So, picture this, a few months back, I decided to play the financial superhero and swooped in to transfer our savings into a super secure fund, all under my name. Ta-da. It all began when her tiny fibs started to give off a whiff that was just a bit too funky for comfort. So, there I was, playing the role of a digital ninja, sneaking in with her saved login details to grab the last few pieces of the puzzle. Mission accomplished. So, guess what? Her phone, in a twist of fate that could only happen in a sitcom, still had the password chilling in the cloud like it was on a permanent vacation. Classic, right? So there she was, casually tapping away in her Notes app, jotting down her brilliant thoughts like a modern-day Shakespeare. But then, poof. Life happened, and she totally spaced on that little gem. It was still lurking there, like a forgotten sock at the back of the drawer, just waiting for its moment to shine. So there I was, just minding my own business, when she casually tossed me the key like it was no big deal. I mean, what was I supposed to do with it? Unlock the secrets of the universe? Or maybe just my front door? Either way, I was intrigued. And then, out of nowhere, the family email swooped in like a surprise party you didn't ask for. Hey there, just a quick note about your little superstar. Your buddy. The real deal. So, picture this, a cozy little spot where you can kick back and enjoy a 10-minute private video. Sounds like a plan, right? Picture this, a whirlwind of moments flashing before your eyes, like a highlight reel of life's greatest hits. It's a montage, baby. Cue the dramatic music and let the good times roll. Picture this, she's lounging around, phone in hand, and suddenly, she leans in like she's about to spill the juiciest secret. "Julian," she whispers, eyes glued to the screen, as if he's right there with her. It's like a scene straight out of a rom-com, minus the popcorn. She was dialing his number like it was a lifeline, tears streaming down her face, pouring out her heart with every ring. Picture this, a blurry selfie, two half-dressed adventurers striking a pose in a hotel mirror. Classic, right? You can almost hear the giggles and the oops moments echoing through the room. No graphic content here, folks. Just the truth, sharp enough to cut through the nonsense like a glass shard at a party. Watch your step. This little gem? Yeah, I kept it under wraps and didn't share it with the world. I shot it straight over to her dad, the big cheese in the neighborhood. To her sister, the fabulous image consultant extraordinaire. Hey there, yoga guru. Her work buddies. Her crew of book-loving besties. And let's not forget the board of her beloved charity, where she was basically the superhero in a volunteer cape. Clara didn't just take a little tumble, she went and face-planted right into the mud of her reputation. She totally lost the identity she had built up like a house of cards, one gust of wind and poof, it was all gone. The lady who had dedicated years to perfecting her persona of elegance, self-control, devotion, and kindness had suddenly transformed into the latest viral warning story. Talk about a plot twist, right? So there she was, just trying to enjoy a peaceful Sunday service, when her dad decided to drop the ultimate bombshell and called her a disgrace. Talk about a family bonding moment, right? Nothing like a little public humiliation to spice up the holy day. So, picture this, her sister goes full-on ninja mode, blocking her on every social media platform, erasing every single photo they ever snapped together like they were never besties. Oh, and just for good measure, she even dusts off her maiden name like it's a vintage trophy. Talk about a dramatic plot twist. So, guess what? Her yoga studio decided to hit the pause button on her membership for, like, forever. Talk about a downward dog gone wrong. So, they went ahead and dropped the bomb. Hey, guess what? You've been breaking our ethics code. We just can't roll with the whole trickster vibe, you know? So, let me tell you about Julian. So, picture this, his little chats about insider trading somehow landed in the inboxes of the folks who really needed to hear them. Talk about a lucky break. So, guess what? The regulatory authorities decided to don their detective hats and kick off an investigation. Cue the suspenseful music. It starts off like a whisper, you know? Just a little hush-hush. But then, bam! It hits you like a freight train, loud enough to wake the neighbors and maybe even the ghosts. So, picture this, a week rolls by, and suddenly, Julian's bank accounts decide to play a little game of freeze tag. Yep, you heard that right, frozen solid. Talk about a plot twist, huh? So, 2 weeks roll by, and guess what? Federal agents come knocking on his door like they're delivering a pizza or something. Spoiler alert, no pizza involved. So, guess what? He found himself in a bit of a pickle and got slapped with a whole bunch of fraud charges. Oops. Talk about a plot twist, right? So, rumor has it that his lawyer was in there trying to haggle like it was a yard sale, aiming to chop that 4-year sentence down to size. So, guess what? Someone decided to play the hero and leaked the recordings to the media. Classic move, right? And guess what? That someone was yours truly. Alright, folks, let's dive into the juicy stuff that really counts. Forget the cash, toss the keys to the house, and don't even get me started on the whole divorce drama. Oh, you better believe it. The sweetest slice of justice served up hot and fresh came straight from that court ruling. Talk about a plot twist. So, picture this, Clara, in all her youthful glory, Had a good laugh at the idea of a prenuptial agreement when we were all starry-eyed and head over heels. Ah, young love, right? She just whipped out her pen and signed it like she was ordering a coffee, totally ignoring the fine print like it was a boring novel nobody wanted to read. Oh, like you'd ever cheat on me, she chuckled, a playful glint in her eye. Well, that sentence really hit the wall, didn't it? Talk about a fine wine that turned into vinegar overnight. The judge went through every single file, every log, every frame of video, and every time-stamped call like a detective on a mission. It was like a binge-watching session, but instead of popcorn, it was all about justice. And by the time we wrapped things up, you could say there was absolutely no room for doubt, like trying to fit a giraffe in a Mini Cooper. Well, she really went and blew up the whole marriage, didn't she? Oh, definitely not me. Guess what? I've got it all. Everything you could possibly imagine is right here with me. Can you believe it? It's like I hit the jackpot of life. The house, the dog, the cars, and let's not forget that quirky antique clocket from Grandma that's seen more drama than a soap opera. So, there was Clara, holding on to her one precious keepsake like it was the last cookie in the jar. But guess what? The universe had other plans, and suddenly, that sentimental treasure was declared community property. Talk about a plot twist, right? I sold it and decided to sprinkle some good vibes by donating the cash to a local nonprofit that helps folks who've been through the ringer of emotional abuse, all in her honor. How's that for a plot twist? The comments section went off like a firecracker on the 4th of July. So, Clara decided to pack her bags and crash at the pad of an old buddy in the neighboring town. You know, just a casual move to shake things up a bit. Last I heard, she was pulling late-night shifts at a roadside diner, flipping burgers and serving up coffee like a pro. You know, the kind of place where the neon lights flicker and the jukebox plays the same old tunes on repeat. Classic. Hey there, Julian. Poof. Just like that, it's gone. So, let me tell you about her social circle. It's like a wild party where everyone's invited, and the snacks are always top-notch. Seriously, it's a mix of characters that could fill a sitcom. You've got the life of the party, the quiet observer, and that one friend who always brings the weirdest stories. It's a blast. Poof. Gone like a magician's rabbit. Just like that, evaporated into thin air. So, you're on a mission to snag her digits, huh? Classic move. What's the plan? A smooth line or just a casual "Hey, can I get your number?" Either way, good luck. Switched it up. So there she was, feeling all mysterious and sneaky, sending a text from a burner phone like she was in some spy movie. Classic move, right? Hey, I get it, I messed up, and I know it stings. Hey, could you do me a solid and hit the brakes on that? Thanks a bunch. I didn't hit you back because, spoiler alert, I already did. This whole thing was never about taking her down, you know? It was all about peeling back the layers and showing her true self. The gal hiding behind that perfect filter, flashing that smile, and spinning those sweet little tales that once rocked me to dreamland. So here I am, snoozing solo, but let me tell you, it's like a cozy cloud of tranquility. Who knew sleeping alone could feel this good? The day my divorce was finally official, I found myself on the porch of what was once our love nest, and guess what? It didn't feel like a ghost town anymore. No more spooky vibes, just me and my newfound freedom. Cheers to that. Poof. Just like that, the sheer curtains she had picked out were MIA. There it was, the plush armchair, the throne of her cozy kingdom, where she'd snuggle up and scroll through Julian's messages like a detective on a juicy case, while I played the loyalty servant, delivering her steaming cups of liquid motivation. I went on a wild shopping spree and replaced everything. Seriously, if it was in my house, it got swapped out for something shiny and new. My old stuff probably threw a farewell party when I wasn't looking. Not because I'm feeling all salty, but because I kind of have to. Healing in the same spot where you got backstabbed? That's like trying to enjoy a picnic in a bear's den, just a bad idea all around. You need to find a new space, one where the bad vibes can't follow you. Trust me, your heart will thank you later. So there I was, channeling my inner chef, with just one lonely candle flickering in the kitchen. I decided to treat myself to some fancy pan-seared salmon for dinner. Just me, myself, and I, living the high life. Picture this, a juicy steak, cooked to that perfect medium rare, just waiting to be drizzled with a zesty lemon dill sauce that dances on your taste buds. Yum. She absolutely loathed it, claiming it turned the whole apartment into a seafood market. I was totally into it like that. I totally skipped the whole music playing gig. Guess what? I totally resisted the urge to scroll through my phone. Can you believe it? No endless memes or cat videos from me today. I didn't get all caught up in the numbers of video views or the mountain of legal mumbo-jumbo or how Julian ended up with a 2-year vacation behind bars. I was sitting there, soaking in the silence, and for the first time in ages, it didn't feel like I was staring into an empty abyss. It was more like a cozy blanket wrapped around me, just me and my thoughts, hanging out in peace. Who knew quiet could be so friendly? Just to set the record straight, I never dreamed of being the kind of guy who pulls off moves like a chess master on a caffeine high. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there lived a guy who was the ultimate devoted husband. Seriously, this dude was like the poster child for marital dedication. So there I was, the ultimate anniversary savant, whipping out reminders like a magician pulls rabbits from hats. I even took her car for a little spa day, because who doesn't love a shiny ride? And let's not forget the sweet little notes I tucked into her lunch bag, like tiny love bombs to diffuse her stress. Talk about a hero, right? Picture this, us, perched on our pint-sized balcony as the sun dipped low, spinning wild tales about the dog walkers strutting their stuff in the park below. Each pooch was a character, and every human had a backstory more dramatic than a soap opera. I'm still all in, my friend. No way I'm losing interest here. She hit her limit. So, instead of rallying me to be her knight in shining armor, she decided to throw her attention at some dude with biceps that could probably lift a car and a smile that screamed, "I've got secrets." Julian thought he was the king of the hill, but let's be real, he was just another guy in the crowd, not superior to me in any way. He was just way less complicated, you know? And she went for the comfy couch instead of the deep end of the pool. But little did she know, the guy who took the time to walk her through her computer hiccups and showed up with ginger ale when she was feeling under the weather had a knack for tearing down her perfectly crafted walls like a pro surgeon with a scalpel. She was on a hunt for a little mystery, a dash of drama, and a whole lot of excitement. She totally nailed it. Little did she know, the true mystery in her life was standing right in front of her, yours truly. So, picture this, a few weeks after everything was wrapped up, my inbox started buzzing with messages from total strangers. Apparently, they had come across some mysterious upload that I had nothing to do with. Talk about a plot twist, right? Shout out to all the ladies who chimed in with a big ol' thank you for shining a light on the sneaky little monster that is emotional infidelity. You know, the kind that creeps in when you least expect it. So, there I was, chatting with a bunch of guys who were all like, "Hey, I've been Ethan too." But here's the kicker, I never quite figured out how to let my voice shine through. Classic, right? Some folks like to call me ruthless, but hey, I just prefer to think of myself as a go-getter with a flair for the dramatic. Some folks were calling me a real-life superhero, brave as a lion. Honestly, I've reached a point where I couldn't care less about what anyone else thinks. It's like I woke up one day and said, who needs that noise? So, picture this, someone just rips your heart wide open and strolls off like they're late for a coffee date, right? You've got two choices here, either you bleed out quietly like a sad little balloon or you grab some duct tape and a whole lot of determination to patch yourself up with something way tougher. It's like DIY heart repair, folks. Who knew heartbreak could come with a side of crafting? I went with resilience, folks. You know, that magical quality that lets you bounce back like a rubber ball after life tries to knock you down. It's like saying, bring it on, world. So, I took that sweet settlement cash and decided to dive headfirst into a brand new adventure. Picture this, a top-secret digital detective agency, where we specialize in uncovering online cheating and keeping your digital life as secure as Fort Knox. We're here to help you navigate the wild world of the internet, ensuring your online escapades are safe and sound. You know what's funny? The irony totally hit me like a ton of bricks. Clients popped up out of nowhere, like magic. Poof. There they were. Well, it seems like betrayal is the universal band-aid we all get stuck with at some point. Being prepared is like having a secret weapon in your back pocket, rare, but oh so powerful. So, I rounded up a quirky little crew, snagged an office right in the heart of downtown, and even had some chats with a couple of therapists who were curious about the wild world of online relationship drama. Who knew marital discord could be so digital? Every time I played detective and helped someone dig up a hidden truth, it felt like I was piecing together my own puzzle of healing. It's like, hey, I found your truth, and guess what? I found a little bit of my own too. The rage had taken a backseat, making way for a chill vibe of empowerment that was just too good to ignore. Clara decided to give it one last shot with a good old-fashioned handwritten letter. You know, the kind that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, like a cozy blanket on a chilly day. She figured, why not? It's not like she had anything to lose at this point. So there I was, minding my own business on a dreary Tuesday, when bam! The envelope shows up like an unexpected guest at a party no one wanted to throw. No return address, just my name, Ethan Bell, scrawled in that fancy handwriting I recognized from a million birthday cards and holiday cheer. You know the one, it looks like it took a degree in calligraphy to master. I totally left it unopened. Just sitting there, all mysterious and stuff. Who knows what secrets it holds? But hey, curiosity didn't get the best of me this time. So there I was, just minding my own business, when I decided to take my culinary skills to the next level. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. I ended up burning it in the sink. Yep, you heard that right. Who knew a sink could be a hot spot for disaster? Lesson learned, not everything belongs in the kitchen. Or the sink, for that matter. Closure? Yeah, that doesn't just knock on your door with a shiny apology in hand. Nope, it's more like a game of hide and seek where the seeker forgot to look. It blossoms right when you stop wanting it so badly. Let's be real, I didn't exactly waltz out of this one without a few battle scars. Oh boy, there were some seriously gloomy days, and the nights during that time were even worse. Let's just say they were more sleepless than a toddler after a sugar rush. I found myself questioning everything under the sun, including my own sanity. What a ride! But hey, I never went full villain mode, you know? No evil cackling or mustache twirling here. I just dropped the truth bomb, folks. So, if the truth came crashing down like a poorly built house of cards, guess who was holding the blueprint? Yep, she was the mastermind behind that wobbly structure. So there I was, rolling up my sleeves and getting down to business, rebuilding my fortress one brick at a time. I made sure it was on solid ground, with walls so strong they could probably withstand a herd of stampeding elephants. And guess what? No more doors left wide open for trouble to waltz right in. Nope, this time I locked it all down tight. Alright, listen up. If you're sitting there, battling the temptation to zip it and play the noble one, I've got a little question for you. What's the point of taking the high road if you're the only one left with a bloody nose on it? No need to raise the roof, my friend. No need to go all demolition derby on it. All you have to do is outsmart the fib, be chillier than a backstabber, and hang tight until it all comes crashing down, just like it was always meant to. Easy peasy, right? Hey there, awesome listeners. We want to hear what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't be shy, spill the beans. Oh, and hey, don't be shy. Give that like button a little love, share the good vibes, and hit that subscribe button like it owes you money.